Welcome to the Stepmom Side with Alicia Krasko, the podcast for stepmoms ready to create the life they want and one they actually have a say in. Here we talk all things stepmom life and just a little bit more. Leave the superficial conversations at the door and get ready for perspective shifts and actionable advice to help you on your way to creating the life you want, one step at a time. Hey there, welcome back to the Stepmom Side podcast. I'm your host, Alicia, your best friend as a stepmom coach, all rolled into one. And today we're diving into a topic that gets turned all the way up during the holiday season: sibling rivalry, stepkid drama, and how it all collides when you add in the pressure of those needs to be picture perfect gatherings and unrealistic expectations of everyone gets along and everyone gets the perfect gift and the dinner is perfect and there's no all of the things, right? And then there's that deep desire for everything to just feel just right, like everyone belongs and everyone's loving and perfect. And again, that picture perfect thing. But let's be honest, holidays in a blended family aren't Hallmark movie magic. They're more like a juggling act where someone keeps throwing more flaming pins your way. So today I want to talk a little bit about how we can navigate the tension that often shows up between stepkids and like your own kids, especially when your partner isn't stepping up and when the oldest kid, regardless of whether it's your kid or your stepkid, ends up playing second parent instead of just being kid. So let's set the stage. Why do holidays turn up the heat? Why is that when everything seems to go sideways in like the worst way? Holidays bring forced togetherness. Keyword here is forced, because more chances than not, like not everyone wants to be together, right? I mean, speaking from experience. But everyone's under the same roof, maybe for longer than usual, and then you add in extended family, travel, disrupted routines, sugar overload, maybe too much screen time, maybe not enough time to like go outside because the weather's not that great. And the worst thing of all, there are sky high expectations. And suddenly, minor irritations become full-blown drama. And it's not just about the holidays being hard, it's about the emotional overload everyone's carrying into them. I feel like we carry so much of it as stepmoms, like day to day, and then you add in like the holidays and yeah, it's a lot. So let's talk about the sibling tension, whether it's your stepkid versus your own kid. It's just a lot. So if you've got both your own kids and stepkids in the house, you've probably seen this play out, the us versus them dynamic, and it creeps in hard, right? One kid feels left out. Another one gets labeled a troublemaker. There's jealousy, there's resentment, and sometimes a not so subtle competition for attention, gifts, or even who sits where at dinner. And here's the thing I want to just tell you now. So if you're multitasking, come back to me. You're not imagining it. You're not imagining somebody feeling jealous, somebody feeling resentment, and sometimes that competition for attention, gifts, or like who's sitting where and like why they're pissed about this, that, and the other. It's real and it absolutely makes sense. And here's why. Because kids are looking for security and sameness. Blending families disrupts that. So they're used to like being with you or being with their dad or being with their mom. And then now all of a sudden we've got these new dynamics at play. And remember like the sameness, how earlier I had talked about everyone's schedule and like routine is off. Yeah, now we're all out of whack. Also, loyalty binds can show up. Maybe your stepkids feel a little bit guilty having fun with you, or they feel guilty having fun with you because their other house doesn't appreciate it, or they, make things up about you, or they say insert whatever about you, or they're resentful towards your kids because they feel like your kids get away with everything, or they get everything, or they are upset that they're now stuck with these guys because they don't like them, or for whatever reason, right? There's just a million different things. So let me just say this. None of this means that you're doing it wrong. It just means that you're human, and so are they. I think sometimes we forget as adults that kids have bad days, and it's like we expect them, our expectations for them are so high, like we expect them to show up and like be perfect or be on their best behavior regardless. So now let's talk about when your partner doesn't step in. Because I know that this hits really hard. If you're watching, I mean, if you're like living your day-to-day life and your partner's not stepping in, now let's add in the holiday things. And a lot of times it feels like everything falls to us to like create the magic and do all of the things. So let's talk about when they're not stepping in. It's like you're watching drama unfold. Maybe one kid is being rude, maybe another's retreating, and like the whole vibe just feels off, and your partner completely zoned out. Maybe there's a game on. Maybe they are, oh my gosh, people are coming over. Let me clean the grass. Let me, blow the snow right now. Let me organize my tool shed, or, let me mow the lawn if you're like somewhere where it's warm for Christmas time. Maybe they're ignoring it. Maybe they say, that's just how kids are. Or maybe they expect you to fix it. They expect you to step in. They expect you to handle the chaos because they can't, they don't, or you're better at it, so I'm just going to let you do it. But here's your permission slip. It is not your job to be the emotional thermostat for the whole damn house. It is not your job to be the emotional thermostat for the whole house. Have the conversation before the chaos. You already know how last year's holidays went. You already know when you guys have a change up in your schedules or a change up in your routines, or you already know what's going to be coming. So have that conversation before the chaos comes. Let your partner know what you're seeing or what you've seen in the past. Hey, do you remember last year, this happened? It might happen again. Can we make some sort of plan? And if your partner is defensive or is like, oh, that's dumb, that's not going to happen this year, or is just like head in the sand, doesn't want to talk about it, you, my friend, can set up some plans too. You can also talk to them about what's feeling heavy. I feel like I'm the one that's buying all the gifts. I feel like I'm the one that's trying to create all the magic. Offload some of that stuff. And then here's the important part. Have that conversation about how you would like to share the emotional labor this season. And here's a script, or here's a phrase that you can use. I'm noticing a lot of tension between the kids and it's weighing on me. I want us to go into the holidays with a plan so it doesn't all fall on me to manage. And if they don't step in, then it's time to lean into some boundaries. And here's what I would do with that. Hey, I notice when the kids are together, I would highly recommend not saying my kid does this and your kid does that. I would actually use their names. I've noticed that Johnny does this and then Susie acts like this. If we see, insert whatever behavior you've seen before from your kid, from let's say Johnny is like your husband or your stepkid, if we see insert behavior from Johnny, I would like you to step in. If you don't step in, here's what I will be doing with Susie and I, or here's how I will handle that. And depending on whatever the situation is, you can change what your boundary is going to be. If you need help with this, send me a message on Instagram. I'm just at Alicia Krasko. If you are in the Stepmom Side community, please make a post in there and say, hey guys, I just listened to podcast episode number 120 and I really can relate to all of the crazy things that are going to happen, or I just feel like are coming up in the holidays, or for the holidays. Can you help me brainstorm, navigate, manage like how to deal with this? And oh my gosh, the women in there are incredible and they will absolutely be in there to like, yes. And if you're not in the community, now is a really great time to join, because the holidays are coming, rain or shine, they're coming, right? And you've got plenty of time to get some support before the holiday season happens, so we can role play, we can chat through some things. Actually, just talked to a stepmom the other day on office hours about just having office hours. I was telling her like, this is what to expect. And she was like, oh yeah, I was thinking about signing up for coaching. I was like, you know what? If no one comes for office hours, it's basically like a coaching call for you. So just try this out first. And if you would like to move into coaching where you have dedicated time for just you, do that. But sign up for the Stepmom Side community. It's so inexpensive, and you get however much time for coaching every single week. There are stepmoms that I see every single week, and I'm like, girl, you are getting your money's worth. I love it. Anyway, back to the podcast. Okay, now when the oldest becomes the second parent, that is a sneaky dynamic that shows up a lot, especially in blended homes where one parent may be stretched thin. So the oldest kid doesn't matter if it's your kid or if it's stepkid, becomes the enforcer, the helper, the one who mediates arguments or manages younger siblings. And while it may seem like they're just being mature, what's really happening is parentification. And that's not fair to them. It creates a whole mess of resentment, especially when they feel like they're held to a higher standard than the older or the other kids. So just pull them aside and just let them know. You don't have to be in charge of everyone. I see you trying to help, but it's okay to just be a kid. Like, just have that conversation with them, and you can see the stress release from their face, or you can see the way that their shoulders drop and like just relax, and you're like, oh, okay. Reassure them that you're the adult and you've got it covered, even if inside you're still trying to figure it out as you go. Because let's be honest, everyone is trying to figure it out as you go, right? Like you have an idea of like the things that are going to come up this year, and there's a good chance that those things are going to come up, but then something else is going to come out of nowhere, and you're going to be like, what? How did this happen? But yeah, I always say to stepmoms, let the kids be kids. Let them be little. It's not their job to, raise their siblings. It's okay if they want to help out, but like during the holidays, like just let them be kids. All right, now let me give you a little mantra that I want you to have, or mantra if you say mantra. This is the script. Progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. That's what I want you to repeat to yourself over the holiday season. And here's something else to keep in your back pocket for this season. I know this isn't perfect. It's messy, and we're figuring it out together. I don't expect any of us to have it all right. We're aiming for progress, not perfection. Say it out loud to your partner. Say it to the kids, whether it's your kids or your stepkids, but especially say it to yourself. Like, you can just write that down. I'll repeat it for you a little bit slowly. I know I talk fast. I'm sorry. Here's the script. I know this isn't perfect. It's messy, and we're figuring it out together. I don't expect any of us to have it all right. We're aiming for progress, not perfection. One step forward sometimes means that you're going to end up taking 30 steps back. And it's just like, why? Why? So here are a few boundaries to hold. 1, you're going to leave when the vibe turns toxic. You don't need to be the martyr just for the sake of tradition. You're going to leave when the vibe turns toxic. So if conversations that shouldn't be had are being had, here's a warning. The next time this is brought up, we'll be leaving. And then the next time it's brought up, you leave. Consistency and follow through. Like, we have to follow through, right? If we want people to actually believe us. But don't try to be the martyr just for the sake of tradition. Does it make it weird? Yeah, absolutely. Maybe that means that you and your partner drive separately. Maybe it's you guys have a code word. Maybe you have a code signal to like ditch the whole place. But yeah, don't be the martyr. Number 2, don't force togetherness. It's okay if the kids need space from each other. It is absolutely okay if the kids need space from each other, especially now when they might not get along in general, and then like the holiday season, like everyone's together, everyone's been doing all of the things together, and they're just like, oh my God, I would really just like some space. I want to go like check in with my friends and see if they're dealing with the same BS that I'm dealing with, or I want to go play my video game, or I want to go scroll social media, or I want to, do whatever it is that they want to do. Let everyone have that space. Give everyone that space. It'll be okay. Number 3, say no to last minute add-ons. You are allowed to protect your peace. And it doesn't matter if it comes from your family, if it comes from your partner's family, if it comes from the ex or whatever. It's okay, or friends even. It's okay to say no. The holidays are already really stressful anyway. I feel like we try to cram in so much. I love to keep a ton of white space around the holiday season because I don't like the stress of like the hustle and bustle. And personally, at this point in my life, I'm like, I just want to hang out. Like, I just want to like enjoy my family. We got a puppy this year. Like, I'm so excited for her and like the snow. But I don't like that, like, oh my gosh, we have somewhere to go. We have to like race from here, there, and everywhere. I don't like that. So it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. So this season, just remember, the holidays don't have to be magical to be meaningful. The holidays don't have to be magical to be meaningful. Your version of together might look different, and that's okay. But focus on connection. Usually I say connection over correction, but now for the holiday season, I'm going to say connection over control. Focus on connection over control. Things are going to go sideways. Things are going to go sideways. And so just plan for them to go sideways. Just prep yourself. Like, I already know that something's going to happen. Something's going to come up and we're not going to like it. If you can just focus on that and like take a deep breath, it's going to be okay. Again, progress over perfection. One small step forward is still one step forward. It doesn't matter if it's small or big. And above all, your peace is worth protecting. So if it's not a hell yes, it's a definite no. I would say like it's a hell no, but it's a no, like absolutely not. But thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode resonated with you, send me a DM or screenshot it and share it on Instagram. I would love to hear what your holidays look like in real life. Love to hear what you think about this. But until next time, I'm cheering you on and I will chat with you next week. Thanks for taking time to listen to this week's episode. If anything was helpful or resonated with you, please share it on social media and tag me. I'm just at Alicia Krasko. And if you could leave a 5-star rating and a review while you're at it, that would also be really helpful. And if you find yourself struggling with your stepmom journey and you want a little bit more support without the hefty price tag of coaching, you might want to check out the Stepmom Side community, which is my own private community for stepmoms, where you get to connect with other stepmoms around the world and myself, where I hold weekly office hours and monthly group coaching. It's kind of like you have your own personal coach in your own back pocket. Again, without that hefty price tag. See you next week.